We want to warn viewers that some may find the details in this report disturbing.
Blood and urine all over the walls, and some of the escorts they hired were allegedly from Craigslist.
At one point in time, Puff was calling drug dealers and telling them to stop serving Cassie.
Cassie says they used 10 big bottles of baby oil per freak-off.
Urine was in her mouth. What?
First it was the rumors, then came the lawsuits, and then they dropped that surveillance footage. Now everybody has an opinion about Diddy, but let's ask the real question that no one wants to touch. What if Cassie wasn't just a victim? What if she was a vibrational match? Now before you go and try to cancel me, understand this. This is not about blaming the abused or the abuser. It's about decoding why we attract something that we are not proud of. Because relationships don't run on love, they run on frequency. And if you do not know the energetic law behind attraction, you will keep calling your trauma fate or your captor your soulmate. In this video, we're not gossiping, we are decoding. And you're gonna learn why Cassie and Diddy were in an accident. They were in alignment, what a soul key really is, and how the wrong one can activate your shadow, and how to break out the exact frequency loop that had her circling him for more than a decade. This ain't about celebrities, this is about you. Because if you have ever stayed too long, or ignored the signs, or mistaken manipulation for love, you are already in the frequency loop. And if you don't break out of it, it will break you. If this transmission is hitting a nerve, it's not random, it's frequency. This channel isn't content, it's code. And before we dive deeper, our current goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers. And we notice over 80% of you guys have not yet subscribed. So if you're here to rise, rebuild, and rewire the story, then hit that subscribe button. That one move can help us shift someone else's entire reality. Live the code, be the law. Everybody is mad at Diddy, but is Cassie to blame? Here's what they're not telling you. First, let's stop the fake outrage. Cassie didn't deserve better. She attracted exactly what she was aligned with. Cassie didn't deserve to get abused, but Diddy wasn't her curse either. He was her frequency match. Two souls vibrating on the same frequency. She didn't get played. She played her part, and so did he. But here's what nobody's telling you. People do not just stay in your life unless they are energetically aligned. That's law, no karma, no luck, frequency. You attract what reflects your current signal, not your potential. So if you are stuck in the loop with a narcissist, a manipulator, or a clout chaser, that's not random. That's energetic frequency. She didn't just stay, she matched him until she didn't. And that's the real reason that they're no longer together. She didn't level up her relationship, she leveled up her frequency. He was never the problem, he was the mirror. So stop asking, why did she stay? The real question is, what in you still vibrates to match with a narcissist, a manipulator, a liar, or a cheater? The longer you stay in that frequency, good or bad, the more it becomes you. She stayed quiet for access. She ignored the signals for stability. She played nice for protection. But at what cost? Every time you betray your own intuition, you vote for your own captivity. This is what happens when you don't command your energy and someone else colonizes it. The cage looks golden, but your soul gets leased out. Cassie's story is not tragic, it's a warning. If you don't shift your frequency, you be out here on the same BS with less money. You ever heard the phrase, watch the company you keep? Even ancient civilizations knew this. Some people, they don't just come into your life, they hold soul keys. A soul key is a person whose energy has the ability to unlock hidden parts of you, your light and your darkness. They don't force anything. They activate what's already there. If their aura was a vault, their presence would be the password. They either unlock your growth or your self-destruction. Your frequency decide which one shows up. So with Cassie and Diddy, they didn't just attract, they activated. Cassie didn't end up at those baby oil freak off parties by accident. You don't just show up to that kind of invite unless your frequency says, I'm down for whatever. Yes, she claimed to be scared, but those messages told the truth. She didn't just say no, nigga. She said where. Cassie wasn't forced, she was available. Not because she wanted it, because her character didn't have the spine to reject it. Your no doesn't mean shit if your frequency says maybe. And here's the energetic law nobody is talking about. Soul keys ain't random people. They're energetic triggers in human form. That's why you start doing things you swore you never do around them. It's not them, it's what they activate. That's how you can go from being calm to crying to drunk to twerking on some billionaire's yacht at a baby oil freak off, wondering how the hell you got there. They didn't ruin you, they revealed you. They didn't break your peace, they unlocked your shadow. And when you don't have morals, integrity, character, or personal law, you become a spiritual vending machine. Press a button and whatever comes out, comes out. You're not cursed, you just gave the wrong one access to your soul settings. A negative frequency loop is like water that has been frozen. But first, I guess we need to talk about water. So you see, water flows through cracks, it shapes mountains, it cleanses, it nourishes, it becomes mist, fog, steam, or even a storm. Water is everywhere, always becoming something else. Now this is what we call power, your power. Why? Because water moves with precision based on what it needs now. It doesn't overthink, it adjusts. That's you when you are in command of your will. That's a high frequency movement, not healing, not hoping, just movement. But when water freezes, it holds shape. It stops adapting. It doesn't move unless something breaks it by force or by fire. That's what happens to your frequency when you stay in a negative loop. Your energy crystallizes, your movements lock up. You freeze your identity that no longer matches who you are becoming. So whether that's a wife, your ride or die, that good girl, that down ass chick, the survivor, either way, you stop responding to now and you start reacting from the past. So you're not unhealed, you're just frozen in time. And now you need something external to break that ass open. Pause. Whether that's a breakup, a public embarrassment, a real collapse of your relationship. Not because life hates you when things go bad, but because you refuse to move. That's how Cassie stayed stuck in Diddy's loop for so long. Not because she loved him, because her water was frozen around him. Her silence became structured. Her fear became routine. Her boundaries turned to ice. And Diddy, he didn't have to force her to stay. He just had to keep the climate cold enough. When two people are vibrating low for long enough, they stop growing. They stop moving. They weren't in love. They were frozen in dysfunction together. She wasn't in love. She was in a frequency loop. And to escape it, you don't need healing. You don't need a new man. You don't need a new woman. You need movement. Movement is life. So stop attaching yourself to expired roles. Stop performing loyalty to outdated programs. You need to act, not react. Shift, not replay. Cassie stayed because she believed that he was her soulmate. Then Kim Porter passed. And then Diddy verified this by saying, hey, you are now my one and only soulmate. But then all hell broke loose. And these are all the things Cassie admitted in court. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Not the freak offs, that was the external hit. But everything else cracked her wide open. And that was the fire that started to melt her back into motion. So you're not stuck. You're just not moving. You have to command your will, flow like water, and beware of being frozen. So you see, we have to adjust our frequency code. And as always, live the code, be the law.